That boy got the Cheeto Puffs on deck. Boy, I see you. Looking like Key showing
Feel
showing us
me?
showing us the goodies around the desk today. I fuck with it, man. Welcome back to another episode of MKZ The Podcast, man. As you can see, we're kind of depleted today. On today's episode, we missing two of our core members, but it's all good because me and Smack. I mean, Key probably gonna have a word about this, but me and Smack got the best football takes anyway. So as you can see by the
Feel
picture,
me? We pretty much undefeated so far, unless
easy
unlike Kevon.
type shit. I know Key gonna have a lot to say when you see this, but we talking. It's a bit late, it's a bit delayed, but we finally gonna be able to get out a NFL Super Bowl recap for y'all, man. As y'all can see by the picture right here next to us, he does it again, man. He does it again, bro. And it's like, bro, at what point? Like, I'm starting to get. I already said it I've been saying it to the later episodes that we've been shooting all season. I'm starting to get sick of this man, bro. And I feel like it's really turning into that Tom Brady effect where it's like, bro, like you just keep winning, bro, and you keep finding ways to win, and it's like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, what can we say about before anything? Like, we got to make sure we give props where props is due, bro. It's so much. It's bruh. What's understood don't got to be explained. I mean, we're gonna explain it now, but what is it about Mahomes and his game and just the dynamic in general that the Chiefs have rolling right now that just has this team on top of the world and they're literally building. They're already a dynasty, damn near. They're building a dynasty before our very eyes. Smack. How you
Pretty
feel about just the Chiefs, the dynamic with them, Andy Reid. You see Andy Reid poking in the background of the picture. Just like with
getting
him,
ready to eat his cheeseburger.
I'm telling you, he finna. You know that commercial where he's sliding his hand over to the fries? Little big
Yeah.
ass. But yeah, like, bro, speak to me about Mahomes, man. What can you say about just what he's doing, bro? Like, it's unfortunate. Like, he knocked out our, Action Jackson, and that was heartbreaking. I'm still reeling from that. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but I'm a little coarse. I was drinking today and shit. I probably still drinking from the depression of the Ravens losing all this time later, bro. But man, what can we say about Patty, bro? It's only so much, but talk to me, bro.
And as our good recently jumped friend Cam Newton has said, that man is a game changer.
What?
Patrick Mahomes, he's showing us once again that he is the best quarterback in the league right now and has an amazing chance to surpass Brady. But to me personally, not even like on my usual Brady hate, I think Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback, like just talent wise and just as a QB, better arm, obviously better mobility,
Yeah.
better improvisation skills, just being creative and just being an athlete and just doing whatever, literally like as people would say, playing backyard football.
Hmm.
To me, like just talent wise, he is to me the better QB, but obviously Brady has him in accolades and longevity, so that's why Brady's the GOAT for now. But Mahomes, he's shown us like, it doesn't matter the defense. Pretty much the whole playoffs he wasn't sacked, and in the game he was sacked once
Hmm.
by Chase Young. To me, that was surprising. With Chase Young, as we see in the narratives, like him not giving no effort, not being that guy, not the guy not taking that third year leap as the top pick he was, but that was surprising for me to see him get the sack on Mahomes. But he played an amazing game. Pretty much they did what he had to do against a great defense in the 49ers, even though they did lose Dre Greenlaw to a freak Achilles injury, which
Freak
is
accident, bro.
insane.
Watching that in live, I was just like, how the hell?
That was crazy. And like, yeah, a lot of fans and football fans gonna say that was the main turning point because Greenlaw, an amazing linebacker, a great duo with Fred Warner, would pretty much held Kelsey down like the way they've been continued to doing like early in the game. But obviously, like things happen in sport. Obviously they're not gonna make no excuses. So
Mhm.
neither is the Chiefs. So But they Chiefs, they took very good advantage of that, attacking that linebacker that subbed in with Kelsey. Kelsey pretty much went off. If you had Kelsey in your parlays, that boy smacked. I should have had him in
Smacked,
mine.
smacked
I
on all the
folded.
tickets. Right.
But yeah, they went. We attacked with Kelsey. Rasheed Weiss had a solid game. You know, it's just an overall a great game. Mahomes, he did not throw a pick, I believe. No.
Mhm.
He just and obviously we got a testament to Andy Reid and his great play calling too. Him and his coordinators, they called a great game too as well. And especially on that last play calling overtime, which corn dog once again. And I was watching Nicole explain like the thought process of what was going on. They said they was expecting man and nobody followed, so it was zone. And so it was supposed to go to the running back, and then they said Nick Bosa,
Mhm.
great player. He blew up the play pretty much.
Yep.
So if they would have handed it off to the running back, it would have been tackle for loss, but they didn't because Nick Bosa was being an animal like he usually was, and then Nicole was open in the flat because the flat defender didn't follow him out there when he went out there, assuming I'm assuming he thought like he was gonna give it out to the run, so he didn't. Nicole was wide open as everybody seen, and that was game. And so it's just that was just an amazing game to watch Mahomes do it again. And
Yeah.
then like as I was saying earlier, I mean I don't really feel no type of way because I love Mahomes. Like he's already like for me he's like the LeBron of the league. So
Yes.
I get it. I get where the Brady fans like kind of like I get where like that perspective of why I hate to see Brady win. I get that perspective of fans of what I was saying. But like for me he's like LeBron. So it's just hard for me to hate him. So I'm happy for him.
I feel that. It's real. I think I want to touch on something you mentioned earlier, but before I do that, it's just like we have to be realizing and understanding of the fact that this man, he does what he needs to do to win, bro. He does what he needs to do to win games, to get the job done. And it's like, even, and we were saying it all playoffs, we were saying it all season because if you came, I mean, maybe very at the beginning of the season, you had the Chiefs, still dominating the league, still probably repeating, et cetera, et cetera. But as the course of the season continued to play out, nobody was talking about the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this year. People were talking about them like they was undermining the Warriors a couple years back when they won their championship. It felt similar to that, where it's like, hey, we have this pantheon great and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty that they've been building over there. But it's like, was this the year? Like, when are they eventually gonna slip off? Because the whole world is waiting on them to slip off, as you do anybody, which is some hater shit, but that's how the world is, bro. Everybody really is just waiting for the
I
people
ain't
at the
gonna lie, you
top
snapped
downfall.
with the comparison because
Yeah,
that's an accurate ass comparison. You snapped with that.
it's literally that, bro. And it's like, bro, at what point? It's like it's one of those rings that cement the legacy of these iconic players. Because to your point about the comparison, Steph Curry, what was the knock on him? He can't win without KD. He can't win without
Uh,
this. He can't win without that. He can't, first ring was a fluke, gave up 3-1 lead, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about one of the greats to ever step foot on the basketball court. The same way we got Mahomes, he's obviously one of the greats to ever step foot on the turf. And it's like, bro, people are always going to find ways to discredit, but then when they go out and do something like this, and accomplish something that you can't really speak about or you can't really knock because yeah, you can hate on it from just an emotion standpoint, but if you're just looking at it from the way we try to look at things from an analytical perspective when it comes to the game, bro, it ain't nothing that can be said about his legacy now because he did this with a team that they had they had receiver issues.
yeah.
They were talking about his weaponry and who he had at his disposal. Mind you, Pacheco was running the hell out of the ball all season. He still run like a madman, but we was talking about that all year.
Even in the
Rash-
parade, man.
yeah, even even in the parade, we was talking about Rasheed Rice and how he broke out this season. Rookie receiver to, show that yeah, hey, you don't got a Tyreek no more. Don't even worry. Don't even trip. I got you. So he did have some people, but there was just too much going on throughout the year where that had us talking about was this going to be the year of the downfall of the Chiefs, and then you got guys like Mahomes, where like you said earlier. he plays a very backyard football brand of the game. Very backyard football brand of the game. To me, it looks like back in the day when I was a jit, big wide eyed jit, watching my older brother play NFL Street. You know, like he's just making plays happen. That's like, bro, how the hell did he even do that, bro? And it's like he's not gonna. We saw Mahomes when he first came in the league, our early years in fantasy football, where he was putting up crazy numbers every single game, right? My thing is,
5,000 yards
yes, he was
seasons.
throwing 500 yards, fucking 40 touchdown seasons. It's like, you know, he might obviously the league, like we were discussing before we hopped on the episode, the league progresses year by year. The league evolves year by year. These players evolve year by year, and so do the schemes around players like Mahomes. But it's just having the knack and the ability to transition to, adapt to said adversity that comes your way and still be able to come out on top, bro. Because, like you said, the Super Bowl wasn't a crazy game. It wasn't a crazy, you know, high scoring Super Bowl like we've seen in the past. But what we were able to appreciate and we were able to take from the game was, bro, he's a killer, bro. He's an assassin in the way he plays the game. On that last drive, which we got to talk about the 49ers and not knowing. Like, and this is just these are the things that, and I want you to get in on this as well. These are the things that separate the good teams from the absolute great teams, bro. It's the attention to detail. It's the little things because you have guys throughout on the 53-man roster talking about, hey, leading up to Super Bowl, we had meetings predicated to the new overtime rules. We had meetings predicated to the little nuance and niche situations that may arise throughout the games. And then in the same breath, you have 49er vets talking about, I didn't even know the overtime. That's how the new overtime rule worked, which is why we chose to take the ball to start and et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, bro, it's little things like that like I said, separate the teams from that, always make it, are always in contention and never end up crossing that, just crossing that last line to the teams that dominate the top, bro. How can you speak on just the preparation that these teams, specifically the Kansas City Chiefs, put into their game plans and into their season? How can you speak on the disconnect that there seems to be between the great teams that dominate the league, like the Chiefs, like the Patriots of the past, and et cetera, to the rest of the league? Because it's clearly a thing, and there's clearly differences in each locker room and each organization.
To speak on that, you could say like it really shows that the 49ers were, yeah, they were prepared for the most part, but then once again they missing that little piece, and obviously it was the overtime, as we've heard
Mhm.
from Kyle Juszczyk saying that for his first statement he says they didn't know the rules, and then he retracted the statement saying that they did, and then it just became a whole mess, and then you know like the lack of accountability there, because it's like, why, if obviously you wouldn't make that original statement if you didn't know the rules,
Right.
so it kind of felt like it was in kind of an excuse,
Yeah.
and like obviously the Chiefs were prepared, and then Andy Reid does an amazing job preparing for his teams because, as Kelsey have said, over like especially for their first games, their opening games, like he says, like, bro, it's almost like a study guide, the way they go through practice, and like when the game happens, it's like everything on the study guide is right there on the game, right there, and like they know all the coverages, they're super prepared, and that's why like the Chiefs, like up until like really this season, they lost, like they've won majority of their opening night games because they're so well prepared,
Mm.
and Andy Reid does an amazing job preparing them for all the coverages, all the things the defense might see, all the things the offense is gonna see, and it just works easy for them, and they just
Right.
make quick work of teams in their opening day games because they have so much time to prepare. Andy Reid takes full advantage of that, and then does not miss pretty much any details to his credit.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a beat. He doesn't miss a beat. And this is why, he deserves all the flowers that have been thrown his way. Because let's be real, Andy Reid was a Hall of Famer before even this Chiefs dynasty. Because we saw the success he had Philadelphia with
Yep.
D McNabb and Michael Vick. Unfortunately, they were never able to win the big dance. But at the end of the day, his team was always in position to make that fight. He made multiple NFC championship games. I think he made one Super Bowl they lost. And it's like,
Yep.
bro, it's like he has one of those career he's like a Kobe um type of career in the sports
Mhm.
world because you can take Kobe's eight tenure with number eight, that's a Hall of Fame career. You can take his 24 tenure, that's a Hall of Fame career. You can have them of Kobe's Kobe. He's one of the greats. He's gonna get in first ballot as moment it opens up. But it's like you got to think about that. He had two Hall of Fame careers in one career. You see what I mean? Oh, guys would dream for
Yeah.
one. Guys dream for one, and coaches dream for one because, and it's unfortunate and it's tough in this league because you see guys going in and out. Are given 1 or 2 seasons and they're thrown the fucking they're thrown to the trenches or whatever. And it's like damn, like this is just more with the way the league has because this has been a thing in the league with the way the league has progressed. It's like you got to give more credit to coaches like uh, a Pete Carroll, a Bill Belichick, a Andy Reid, uh, Mike Tomlin, guys that have been in the league for an extended period of time and haven't had to deal with that, laid off, pick back up, laid off, go to college for a year, try to build in college, the hardballs of the world, things like that. It's like, bro, you don't see that with these guys, and it's a reason for it because they pay attention to the detail. And like you said about Kyle Juszczyk, it definitely is crisis management. Him having to walk back that statement, make that excuse about them not knowing the rules. But when you already throw it out there, it can't be taken back because you guys, it worked in your detriment in the game. We saw it. Y'all came out, Brock Purdy. They marched down the field, but they couldn't. They got halted up in the red zone, and it's like okay, now we
Yep.
got to get some points out of it. Let's take this three. Let's see what happens. And when you give a quarterback like Mahomes, he's one of those guys that you want to keep on the sideline, bro. Because when you keep a
Yep.
quarterback like Mahomes, you tell him what he needs, you tell him the time frame in which he has to do it. He's gonna get it done. If he needs a field goal, he's gonna get a field goal. If he needs a touchdown,
Yeah.
he's gonna hit MVS on a hitch in the corner wide open. You see what I mean? It's
Yep.
like, bro, it's like these are the things that you try to avoid that you can avoid are avoidable strictly off of the preparation standpoint. You see what I mean? If guys understood what was to take place, if the captains that went on that field and the coordinators that's in their ear telling them what y'all want to do, what the game plan is, are telling them, listen, let's let Mahomes get the ball first. Let's let our defense, who although they've gone through the injury, they dealt with the injury bug in the game. Hopefully they can hold up and at least limit him to a field goal because he doesn't know what the 49ers could do back on the opposite end. But instead, you got Mahomes
Yep.
scrambling for a fourth down. You got Mahomes a
Yep.
big 20-yard pickup on the scramble. And like you said, those are the things, those are the athletic sides of his game that you just can't compete with because it's things that you're not expecting. It's not a Lamar Jackson. It's not a Justin Fields or a quarterback of that or Jalen Hurts. It's not a
Josh
quarterback of
Allen.
right. It's not a quarterback of that stature where that's literally cemented in the game plan because that is a big part of their game. No, it's somebody that, like you said, he has the creativity, he has the wherewithal, and he has just the artistry, I want to call it, to be able to decide, look, everything is blanketed down the field. Everything is covered up, everything is locked up down the field, or the pressure is coming to me too quick to let my routes to let my receivers get into their progressions. I'm I'm out the door with that thing. You see what I mean?
Out
I'm
that
out.
bit. Out that bit.
I'm out that big. You feel me? I'm out that hole. So it's like, bro, like you just it's so much that could be said, bro. It's so much that could be said. But I want to transition to just what's your thought process? You touched on it briefly with where he stands as far as, his race to the GOAT debate. I mean his race to the GOAT conversation. But like, is it unfair to say that Mahomes is already a top 10 quarterback ever? And top 10, I'm just saying top 10 to be generous and respectful for the old heads. But let's be real.
Yeah,
People know it's closer to five than it is closer to 10.
for sure. To me, he damn near too,
He damn
in my
near, bro.
opinion.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the success he's had, like he's been to what 4 or 5 AFC championships, 3 Super Bowls. Well, he's All Pro. How long he been like All Pro 5 times,
Damn near since
Pro
being a
Bowler like
starter. Yeah.
yeah, like so like with that type of career, and then just and plus if you just in it as the old heads will say it, the eye test. Like look at him, like how you don't see like even though this season yes was probably like arguably one of his worst seasons when it comes to like throwing interceptions.
Hmm.
But obviously, we put it to circumstances. Like obviously, like interceptions don't tell the whole story.
Yep.
Because obviously, we seen with Kadarius Tony like dropping right here, like
Yep.
one of these,
Hmm.
and going to the defense is like what Mahomes could do. But no excuses there. Like it is what it is. But like look, you look at his stats, it's like those are Hall of Fame numbers. Like one of the
Already.
very few quarterbacks to throw for 5,000 yards with 50 touchdowns. Very few. Like I think only
Hmm.
QBs, 4 or 5 QBs have done that.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's just a testament to him. Like no offense, all the other quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, John Elway, Troy Aikman, if you want to throw him in there, even though he probably not in there for real. But
Right. Hmm.
sorry, Cowboys fans. But like to me, he's damn near too. Like the man is like how old is he, dog? Like he only what like 26, 27?
I think he's like he might be teetering on like 28 or 29. 'Cause I remember seeing something
Okay.
about him being like a year or two older than Lamar. But still, that's young
Oh,
as
okay.
hell. That's young as hell for a quarterback, bro.
You feel me? So like at that age, you won 2 Super Bowls and you're looking for a three-peat. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm sorry, bro. He's damn near he's two. To me, he's one for real because of the talent and the ability he's
Mm.
shown. But I'm gonna just give it to the respect of Brady. The career and longevity that he's had and the things he's been able to do. So I give it to Brady for now. But like really, to me, if I had to be honest, he's one for me.
I agree. I agree, bro. And I can't, I'm not gonna say I agree right now because like you said, I'm still gonna try to pay my respects to especially Tom Brady because Tom Brady did something that we thought we would never see again. Although it's looking like Buddy right here to our left is looking like he's right there on his heels, right? But it's like, you know, my thing is, and this is what separates guys like Brady and Mahomes from the rest, in my opinion. You got to think about the way they dominated the league in which at the time in which they dominated the league. It's not like they were dominating a Mickey Mouse league, either one of them. Because let's think about the quarterback position. Let's think about how deep the quarterback position went when Brady was in the league, dominating the league, and he's smutting these guys, bro. He was, and Brady's another example of somebody that one of his rings can attest to his greatness. Aside from all the BS that you could say has benefited him, you can always use an excuse because the argument was always it's not Brady, it's Belichick. It's not Brady, it's the New England way, it's the Patriot way, etc., etc. Then he goes over there to Tampa Bay first year and he shocks the world on the road, beating back to my point about the quarterbacks in which he was playing with. We're talking Hall of Famers he was competing with. We're talking Philip Rivers, who I know Philip Rivers, but he was a very solid quarterback. We're talking Drew Brees. We're talking Peyton Manning. We're talking Eli. We're talking Aaron Rodgers. We're talking Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. We're talking greats to ever throw on the cleats. You see what I mean? And those are the guys that he's running through one by one by one by one by one with no issue. Now we got Mahomes. We're the quarterbacks in the league. The quarterback playing in the league right now is no slouches, but it's just the dominance in which they're showing right now is something that it's not you can't logically compare anybody else. You could it taking putting emotion aside. You can't logically compare any other quarterback playing currently today. As much as I love Lamar Jackson and all these other young quarterbacks that are killing the league, at the end of the day, results matter. And when you are getting these results year in and year out, McKinley, he has not been. out of the AFC Championship game since he's been a motherfucking starter. You got guys that have not made a single AFC Championship game, and we look at them as future Hall of Famers.
You dang right.
You got to think about that. He's never made it outside of the AFC Championship ever. Since he went up into Alex Smith, solid quarterback. Since he started going through his injury woes, and it's like, okay, it's time for the young buck to step in. He hit the ground running. He hit the ground running with no turning back. He didn't look back not one time. And the quarterbacks playing today, the Josh Allens, the still got A Rods. He had to compete with A Rods. He had to compete with Tom Brady's. He had to compete with Lamar Jackson's. He's competing
Joe
with
Burrow.
Joe Burrows. He's competing with quarterbacks that are very, very high caliber players. So it's not a point in time where we're seeing, quarterbacks that, we're seeing teams win Super Bowls with the lack of quarterback play. That time and those times in this league is kind of dead because every quarterback that we've seen dominate the league, not even dominate, but just win a Super Bowl, these teams have had at least a very serviceable quarterback behind the helm. The worst I can think of, and this is no slouch to him, but just because of how many rings they've won in recent years, just because of how many rings Brady was winning in recent years, it's only so many others that got Super Bowl rings. The worst I can think of recent times is Matthew Stafford, and that's not even you can't even call him the worst because we know what Matthew Stafford has been able to do with The Rock. Although he wasted a good amount of his career in Detroit, he was still putting up numbers. You see what I mean? Russell Wilson's. You got quarterbacks like this that he's competing with, and he's outshining all of them, bro. It's only so much could be said. We could ramble about him for hours and hours, but I just want to make sure we
Honestly,
started
real
off.
quick,
So, go ahead.
what do you think is better, Joe Flacco or Eli Manning?
That's a good question, boy. I think this, and that's a very excellent question and a very timely question because I think that what Joe was able to do this year kind of cemented him being the him adding that longevity aspect to his career. I think that cemented him
Hmm.
as a better quarterback than Eli Manning because
Mm,
um the reason I say that is because he did what he did in Baltimore. He he didn't lead the way because I mean he had Ray on the defensive side, and
yeah,
we know what they had over there in Baltimore, but he was very serviceable at that time, and his career, although it does have its pivots and its downfalls, he came back this year, filled in off the couch, filled in for Cleveland Browns, and took them to the playoffs and almost won a playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it was a really good and close game
Yeah,
when
you
that
think
ended
Eli
up.
though, or you think Joe?
Low key, yeah. Because like for me, like Joe Flacco has just been like, even though I don't want to say he's been carried, but like really that strength of that Ravens team was really like you don't think of Joe Flacco during those times. You think of that defense.
Right.
And obviously that defense, when you're holding teams to 10 points or less, it's not that hard, to put some points up if you're serviceable and plus you're getting great field position. So Eli, I mean, he's had some solid defenses in his career.
Hmm.
Michael Strahan, Osi Umenyiora,
Right.
some solid DBs, but it's just like nothing like the Ravens defense. And like, I've seen, and as we've seen Eli, he's made some big time throws, and I low key give him the edge, like just performance wise and prime ish. I low key give him the edge
Right.
from what we've seen and like at least the things he had to do in the Super Bowl, and being a part of like one of the most iconic catches we'll ever see in football.
Yep.
So like honestly, I low key give the nod. In my opinion, I give the nod to Eli. Even though
I,
like Joe Flacco, as you said, like you made like I ain't gonna lie, like you really put in perspective, bringing up that point of him coming off the couch this year and really balling out, being a gunslinger. Because I was not expecting that. Bit.
at
I can't
all.
even
I
lie.
had
When
to
that
I had to scoop
said,
him up
bro, I was
off the
no
waiver
funny.
wire. I had to scoop him up off the waiver wire. Somebody, I'm pretty sure somebody scooped him up off the waiver wire for a week or two.
Cause that boy was balling in fantasy. I was like, what the,
Yeah.
you know. You really put it in perspective. I ain't gonna lie, 'cause I was not thinking about that. That does give him points. I'm not even gonna lie, because it did make it a little bit tough for me to decide between the two.
Right.
But like, I still low-key gotta stick with Eli, man. He's made some tough throws and catch it, the tough throws, bro. And I'm like, yeah, bro. I don't really. I mean, Joe Flacco's made some great throws too, but like some of them in the biggest stage, especially with that helmet catch and some
Yep.
of the other throws in the Super Bowl, like I gotta give it to Eli, high
And
key.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Honestly, Eli's probably the right answer, but I'm just thinking of recency bias always plays a factor. So it's always going to be there, essentially. But I mean, yeah, like you said, bro, Eli. I mean, Eli. Let's be real. We got to the league, NFL fans and the league itself has to thank Eli because he stole two away from
Yeah,
Tom. Because that would have
yeah.
been just Tom taking.
Oh
Tom
yeah,
was already in the
sitting up
heavens.
on top of the throne.
Tom is already in the heavens, but you add two more rings to that, it's like, bro, what can we even talk about, bro? Especially if you would have
For
finished
real.
the undefeated season, bro. That
Oh my
what
fucking
was that?
uh,
Oh seven?
7. Yeah.
Yeah, oh
Oh
seven with
07.
Randy Moss on his team. If they would have
We
finished
would
that
have
off,
never
boy,
exceeded from fucking Kevon, bro.
we would have never.
I would have
You would no longer be able to use that Dolphins undefeated season spade if they would have won that Super
pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Bowl. I'm knowing, I'm knowing. Before we move on to, because we want to talk more NFL in this episode, we just really wanted to detail the Super Bowl because, like we said, we didn't get a chance to discuss. Overall, it was a great game. It was a great watch. Usher was being crazy, just going crazy in the halftime performance.
Oh man.
Man, let's not get don't
Oh
get me
man.
started. He hugging up on wives like they his baby mom, like they his baby mamas. I mean, golly. But
Oh boy.
it was all overall it was a great spectacle to see. And the 49ers, I'll give credit to the 49ers. They put up a fight. Brock Purdy, um, I think we have to start talking about Brock Purdy as a solid quarterback. I know he plays for the
He deserved
49ers. He deserves it. I know he benefits from that coaching staff over there and the weapons he had the onslaught of weaponry he has over there. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, and I think for quarterbacks like that, low key get a tick taken away from, especially when it didn't come in with the big name already. I feel like they get a tick off of we underrate them slightly just because we give the not the credit to everybody else. Where like let's Jimmy G, I know Jimmy G's career has been injury riddled and he hasn't really done nothing since his 49er days. But he got traded to the 49ers and he was or traded or signed. I forgot what happened, how he got to the 49ers, but whatever.
he was traded, you're right.
Yeah,
He was right.
he was traded to the 49ers and he balled out with the 49ers. He took him to a Super Bowl. Not a Super Bowl. Was it a Super? It was Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, he took him to a Super Bowl. So
A Super Bowl, I think 50 in Miami. It was in Miami. I forgot the number, but I think it might have been 50.
yeah, I remember. I think I don't think he was around then, but I think me, Key, Tris, and some other folk we watched that game at Key crib. I remember that. I remember that. But yeah, so he's taking them to the Super Bowl. So we got to give a little bit of credit. They're not the superstars of the league, but I mean, Brock Purdy came in this year and did what he needed to do. Mr. Irrelevant did exactly what he needed to do as the last pick in the draft, you know? So,
It's a crazy nickname, Mr. Irrelevant. Just imagine, like they got a jersey talking about some, yeah, Mr. Irrelevant. Like that's kind of like that's crazy, bro. Like even though yeah, you got drafted, which is like obviously the main important thing, but it's like damn, bro. Like why even though I'm the last pick, why I gotta be Mr. Irrelevant? Like for real,
that's
like that's
real.
kind of like you like
That's,
dang.
that's real. What would you think is the worst nickname though? Mr. Irrelevant or porn star Jimmy?
I think Mr. Irrelevant because at least with porn star Jimmy, like at least it showed that you get hoes. Like you feel me? It's
right,
like
right.
at least you got that credit, you feel me? Like, and plus niggas, and plus the female, they could think like, oh yeah, you like we heard you, you feel me? And it's like, aside from Mr. Irrelevant, it's like, dang, like you just an unknown ass nigga, you feel me? So it's just
That even
like
they
I'm
have
legit like
reports
looking at it.
of you sharing rent, like having roommates and stuff. Like,
You feel me?
definitely,
Like,
yeah.
dang, like you feel me? Nigga can't catch no break with that.
At all. You can't catch no break with that at all. But shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to the Chiefs for giving us a great end to a great NFL season this year. Before we start talking, because we want to talk, like I said, we want to talk a bit more NFL in today's episode. I believe we're about a cool 30 something minutes in, so we rocking and rolling right now. But before we get on to the next topic, I just want to speak on, what's kind of hot right now and just get your perspective on things because I've heard some very controversial takes, in my opinion. It's controversial for me. But how do you feel about the news about MVS? For those of you that don't know, there's been news with MVS recently about how there was a point in the season, specifically, I believe the Jets game, and I forgot what the second game was, but apparently
The Eagles.
yeah, the Jets and the Eagles game.
Oh, you
Apparently,
mean Miko Harman?
was it Miko?
Yeah, because remember, like me, because if you're talking about leaking plays and stuff.
Yeah, that was Miko.
Yeah, that was Miko. Because remember, he got traded from the Jets too, and then it was the Jets players that were.
Oh, yes, 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 exactly, exactly. Miko, excuse me. So let me correct that. Miko, not MVS. I'm still thinking MVS from the game winning catch, but Miko leaking, apparently being disgruntled with his playing time and his fit into the rotation and the offense with the Chiefs. And there being reports about him leaking plays and leaking game plans to opposing teams, specifically opposing defenses, because we've heard Sauce talk about it, I believe, and there's been some rumblings in that Jets camp. How do you feel about that dynamic and what that means for Miko? And if true, because of course the NFL is still going through their investigations, as is the public, the public eye, which seems to be, you know, the grand
A
jury.
constant thing.
Yeah, the grand jury these days. But how do you feel like that paint? Like, what light do you think that puts his career in, as far as the remainder of his, his time in the NFL?
Um, if proven true, if we're going on that side of the spectrum, it'll be very bad for him, obviously. But like, and more in the case of like, when things are going wrong and things is not like, say you're losing and like, season not going well and things are, and he's out the rotation or whatever, he's not getting his targets. With that side, it's like, obviously him being unhappy or whatever, it's going to lead him to, do, sabotaging things to the team and obviously as a GM, player, coaches, whatever, clearly you do not want none of that in your locker room.
Mm,
And then if not, like I really, on the side of like, if it's false, like, really on the bad end on the Jets, because it's like, kind of like why would you go that far? Like I could understand them being a little disgruntled, or a little unhappy because, obviously we're human, and then, obviously you got to do your job as a professional. But, obviously like what he was saying according to like him being on the podcast with the pivot,
hmm
um, it wasn't a good culture over there.
Yeah,
Him coming from the Chiefs championship culture because clearly like he's been with the Chiefs. We've never heard. I mean, though, even though yes, they've been winning, so it's not. You won't hear a lot of bad things when when it comes to winning teams. But
right.
there's nothing been too crazy because it's not like the Chiefs win every game. So it's like and plus he wasn't the main star. He had to share the field with the likes of Tyreek and Travis Kelce. So it's like they could have been disgruntled there on him, like, why am I not getting the ball more? And we never heard nothing like that before, even though, yes, he left the Chiefs to go sign, probably to get more money with the Jets or whatever, because, the Chiefs weren't really probably trying to pay him that much. We never heard, like, no telltale signs of that or whatever, nothing like that. And then now, all of a sudden, he wins the Super Bowl, and then now we're hearing rumors that he's leaking plays
Mm,
on a team, on a losing team that lost their QB. So it's like, and after that, pretty much after that, even though obviously they're professionals, obviously you guys believe y'all can win every game, but like if we're being real honest, most of them probably think y'all weren't pretty much going far with Zach Wilson based on the play. Especially guys who've already been there and been in season with Zach Wilson.
mm,
Obviously most of them probably thought like, yo, we're really not going nowhere unless we get like a better QB play. So
right.
like it's like you guys already seen that, so I don't know like where it comes from. Like, oh, yeah, he's ruining our chances to win when y'all damn near don't have much of a chance of winning with Zach Wilson being at your quarterback. Like, no disrespect, but Zach hasn't played the best. He has improved compared to last year, which I
Right.
give him credit for that. But obviously not the step of improvement of the hype of him being a number two pick,
Yeah.
and what he's claimed to be. So It's like leaking plays on a losing team. It's like, bro, it's like that don't really make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say it doesn't work. It doesn't help his case that Zach Wilson's best game just so happened to be the game that they're talking about. You're leaking shit to the team. So that kind of works in his doesn't work in his favor. But the controversial takes for me that I feel like I've been hearing this week about that topic is the fact that folks think it's a career. If proven true, it's a career ender for him. Now, while I understand that point, and while I understand that logic, that mindset, because at the end of the day, now we're not talking about the play on the field. We're not talking about off the field interruptions and off the field issues. We're talking about a human being's integrity and his character now. That's what we're discussing when it comes to that, when it comes to that side of things. So it's like I get it where that's not something you want in your locker room because God forbid he goes to another team, he's mad about another situation. Hey, middle linebacker, let me hit you up real quick. So this is what this is a QB game plan. We running X's and O's here. We doing this XYZ. You don't want that in your locker room. But I feel like it's too harsh in saying that his career should and will be over if proven true, because like you said, there's a human aspect with you know you going through your feelings at the end of the day. Like there's that human aspect, and sometimes it leads us to do very irrational decisions, which this is would have been one of those decisions for him. And I think he should be warranted, especially with, like you said, us not hearing much. Like, granted, they were winning, but us not hearing much about him being a nuisance or being a problem in any other facet throughout his career. We can't throw him under the bus and say that no team should give him a second chance, if proven to be true. Now, yes, he's going to have to pay his penalties. Yes, he's going to have to pay his dues. But at the end of the day, if he's willing to work and earn his stripes back, then, you know, I say let him because he's a quality talent and he's been a very decent receiver. Although this year, of course, their whole receiving core for the Chiefs for the most part was down this year, but he's been serviceable and he's been a very big piece in some of their championships, especially some of their championships of the past. So that's what I'll say about Miko. Now, if it's proven false, I ain't gonna lie, he might have to take some legal ramification because against the Jets because you can't. That's shit that can end somebody's career. Like we talking about how people feed their families. We talking about somebody's job. Like we talking about somebody's 9 to 5 essentially. That's how you make money in this world. You need money to buy food, to feed your kids, to feed your wife, to feed your family, to take care of your parents, whatever the case may be.
Just to
You can't
live in general.
to live in general. You can't jeopardize that, man. You can't jeopardize a grown man's way of living, man. So I think he should, if proven false, some I forgot what that lawsuit everybody goes to when somebody's saying something about their name. I forgot what it's called
Bro,
right
I
now.
got you, bro. I remember it, bro. Man, it's called defamation. Defamation of character.
Look at Smack on his shit today, boy. Yeah, he better throw that defamation of character lawsuit in that big quick. Cause you playing with my money
Feel
now,
me?
bro. You playing with my money. You can't do that, bro. We can't do that.
My money.
Give me my money. You playing with my money, man. We can't fuck with that, bro. But yeah, man, I just wanted to touch on that topic. I feel like the media is being a little too harsh on me, Cole, because I still think he deserves a second chance, even if proven correct. But if the league does have a knack for blackballing players, coaches, we know this. And this is real last thing on the 49ers Chiefs dynamic before we truly move on to the next dynamic. To the blackballing point, bro, the league got to stop this, bro. Because I understand the money talks, bro. And at the end of the day, the owners are going to ride for the owners. They're always going to. We saw what they did to Colin Kaepernick. We saw what they've done to Cam Newton. We saw what they've
Yeah.
done to a plethora of players in the past. But for guys to just be given the short end of the stick so often that already bust their ass for y'all on the daily so y'all could bring in these billions of dollars, dog, there's no reason why a defense, Very, very, very excellent defensive coordinator. And remind me his name, McKinley, the coordinator for the 49ers, DC for the 49ers. It's slipping me right now. If you remember the black dude,
You talking? His name is Kevin? No, Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes
Is
is.
it?
I think it might be Steve Wilkes. I forgot, bro. But it might be Steve Wilkes. It might be Steve Wilkes. But they just announced that they released their defensive coordinator. 49ers, y'all have been solid in the league because of your defense. Of course, your offense deserves all the credit. But bro, let's not act like it's in. What did he do that was that wrong in the Super Bowl to constitute a firing? Get Kyle Shanahan ass out of here.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say, but you have now become the laughing stock of the league because you've been in three Super Bowls, you've had double digit leads in each of one of those Super Bowls, and you have these many rings to show for it. Come on, man. Like, why are we just playing in it? Especially, and we know what it is. Sometimes we know a lot of the times we know what it is. As far as the folks that do get shown the short end of the stick and what their complexion just so happens to be. But regardless, there's no way you're telling me in any world that Steve Wilkes is the reason that the 49ers did not win the Super Bowl. Because it's not like there was any crazy defensive slip ups, especially with Dre Greenlaw going out. That to
can't
cause
control that.
you can't control that to constitute a firing. Kyle, you got to do better on that end, bro. And sometimes, Kyle, you got to look in the mirror, bro. McKinley, talk to me about just how you feel, real quick, so we can keep it brief. But bro, that's BS, bro. Because Kyle,
No,
you
you're
got to
right.
go. Like, come on, bro. And at the end of the day, real quick, my bad before you go. Bro,
Hmm.
we just talked for 10 minutes about the preparation and the attention to detail that certain coaches and organizations show, and it ends up playing out in the games. Kyle, should we not blame y'all for the overtime debacle? Should we not blame y'all for getting away from running the ball with your best player and Christian McCaffrey? Should we not blame you for that? You call the plays. You decided at the end of the day the buck stops with you when it comes to decision making in the game. Nigga, we gotta blame you. Why are we blaming Steve Wilkes for this? What you think, man?
Real quick. Yeah. Honestly, I was honestly really shocked when I seen the news. I was like, I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Like, y'all defense has been like with him on y'all like after replacing Robert Saleh, y'all been outstanding for the most part. Y'all didn't miss a beat. And y'all replaced him with Robert Saleh, and y'all been doing great. I mean, the Super Bowl game. I mean, it was I mean, I don't want to say low scoring, but like relative to like what people like, high scoring, high paced action game. I mean,
right.
like it was a great defensive game. Even though like yeah, Mahomes threw over 300 yards, you know, but like overall, I mean, I think he only had like he only had like really two touchdowns, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Like you're able to get a sack on him, which he has not been sacked throughout the whole postseason,
yep.
and he's played against great defenses.
Mhm.
So like they played a great game, especially losing Dre Greenlaw, one of your best linebackers. You was pretty much able to like do your best to contain and like hold them off as best as you could, and then y'all got stops, but
Yep.
obviously offense didn't really come through. Whether it be Kyle Shanahan or Brock Purdy's fault or like receivers underperforming. Like the defense, relatively, they did their job. I mean, yeah, they gave the game-winning touchdown, but like there's only so much they could do for that long throughout the game. Like, we got to cut a little bit slack. Obviously, they're not gonna say no excuses, but like, I thought it was a great call. It was a great game defensively. Like, I enjoyed it. Like seeing both teams go at each other defensively. It was great. He called a great game, put everybody in the best position, did his best when Drake Greenlaw went out, and they balled. I mean, it was unfortunate they caught the L, but I don't think that was just a shock. that they fired him, and now that they're hiring Brandon Staley, I don't know exactly if he's gonna get that full defensive coordinator role, but like, they hired him on the staff, so I'm just like, I mean, I guess
And even
maybe like,
Brandon Staley, correct me if I'm wrong, but what's Brandon Staley not involved with the Chargers?
oh, you're right.
Are you serious? That's who you
Oh wait, say that
replace?
again.
Brandon Staley, he DC for the Chargers, or was he played for he was involved with the Chargers, right?
He was head coach, so he was and
Even
plus he was
more.
more like it was like, especially like he's known to be like a defensive coach, but I'm not even gonna lie, the Chargers defense hasn't been that great under his head coaching.
Exactly my point. You get rid of Steve Wilkes, who has put a hellacious defense on the field for a good since, like you said, since Robert Sala's departure. He kept the standards of the 49ers defense. Not only do you get rid of him, do you use him as the black sheep and get rid of him when things go south for y'all, but y'all bring in somebody that has literally been proven to fuck up defenses. Because let's be honest, you can say what you want about Justin Herbert, him being overrated, him being underrated, whatever. There's always that constant. I mean, it's funny whenever I see it on Twitter or IG, or whatever. They talking about Justin Herbert in hypothetical situations, and they're showing like LeBron and Michael Jordan mixes and shit, and like Tom Brady, and I'm like, bro, like it's real. Like, and we've talked about that earlier in the season, like the slowdown with the Justin Herbert talking until he does something. But bro, Brandon Staley, excuse me, was just in the presser screaming at the media saying that I will continue to call these defenses. Mind you, his defense is riddled with guys like Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. Um, I know you know some more names. Name me some more names.
Aaron James, Asante
Man,
Samuel here. He's had Casey Hayward. He's had Melvin Ingram.
yes,
Let's see, he has I think, is it Eric? Yeah, Eric Kendricks on the linebacking core.
yes. The list go. Don't he got JC over there too? Or did he have JC
Yeah,
at
he had
one point?
JC Jackson. Yeah, but I
Like
mean, JC Jackson, he's burnt toast. I mean, you see what we did to that boy.
Dolphins up,
I
Bills
don't,
up,
I can't
Bills
really
up.
blame him for that one.
Real, real. But I mean, he was solid at one point, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
You've had guys. There's no reason why the Chargers should be asked every year. At least the defense should be solid. If Justin Herbert's not getting the job done, that's a different discussion. But bro, there's no reason the defense should be trash. You have an all-star studded defense, and you haven't amounted to nothing. And that's what you bring in to replace y'all on the 49ers. The 49ers are finished, and Kyle Shanahan is finished. I'm saying that now. I'm calling that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news for this team and the 49er fans. I was just in California kicking it with y'all. So I
I was
love
just
y'all.
about to
Yeah, I love y'all
say.
state. Y'all do too much of this though. Way too expensive over there. Way too expensive over there. But I love y'all state. I love y'all city. But bro, I have to say, I have to keep it real in these situations, bro. Because there's no way y'all are gonna use somebody as a scapegoat and then turn around and hire somebody that has been unproven in the league and was screaming at the media saying, I'm gonna continue to call defenses. And then the very next week he had 40 something drop on him. Come on, man. I'm sick and
You
tired of
see the
it.
propaganda.
The propaganda. We know what it is, Smack. We know
See
what it
the
is.
propaganda.
We know what it
And
is.
then like before we segment, I just want to ask, like, did you hear this slight report from like it was like an anonymous like a former GM or like scout or something about like Antonio Pierce. He was like, oh, just because he thinks he plays for the Raiders, he thinks he knows the Raiders way. That guy needs to shut up.
Bro, and it's funny because that was a Raider legend that said that. That was
I'm just
I
like,
forgot his name, but he has been involved with the Raiders, and I mean I'll give him his credit. He did assist to building what we refer to, or at least what we used to refer to as the Raider way. Now you're getting mad at AP.
talking about something he needs to shut up. Like, bro, he ain't never said that to fucking what's his name? What's the old head coach name?
Who? Uh,
Oh,
John Gruden.
yes, there you go, Gruder. Yeah, he ain't never and Drew Gruder was loud with it too. Like, you feel me?
John Gruden was loud in the bed.
Like, he ain't never said nothing like that about Gruden, but he just happened to be a black guy. Apparently, like, it's just coincidence. It's just about, and,
It's crazy,
that's all
mind
I'm
you.
gonna say about that.
Mind you, Gruden. I don't remember if it might have been before we started this podcast, but we were talking about it amongst ourselves. Gruden
Hmm.
signed a NFL player, an NFL superstar contract with the Raiders. You talking about AP that
I
was an
dig that.
interim head? You talking about AP that filled in as an interim head coach, and instantly you got guys like Max Crosby saying, "Y'all know what it is with AP. Y'all see what we do now. The toxins that were riddled in our locker room were now gone, and we have a guy that we can believe in, and a guy that we know trusts in us. And we saw how the Raiders closed out the season. Credit to the Raiders
Yep,
because they
they
did turn the
definitely
they
was.
turned they turned the season around to the best of their ability. But now you want to tell AP to shut up, or you want to tell AP to stop talking. He got to do it. That's not the Raider way. What do you know about the Raider way? The Raider way you knew was back in 01, 02, 03, the 90s. That's the
Facts.
Raider. That's the Raider way you know.
Man, we
Y'all
in
ain't been good.
2024, man.
Yeah, and y'all ain't been good since. So you talking about the Raider way? The Raider way is vanished. You know what I mean? And he's trying to build that back, but you want to blame him for all this extra shit? I hate hearing shit like that, man. I hate it, bro. But that's a great question, a great topic because I forgot that slipped my mind, but that was a very big topic of discussion as well. So I'm glad you allowed us to provide some input on that as well. But enough with the past, man. The past is the past. So whether we like it or not, it's the past now. Let's look towards the future. The draft is coming up. The NFL draft is coming up. We're hearing rumblings and just so much speculation and talk about how it's going to play out, who's going to go number one, what quarterback's going to be taken off the board, what the orders is going to look like. So much drama in the draft. I feel like there's so much drama in the draft this year that we can touch on.
We
Um,
definitely, we definitely gonna need another episode for this one,
oh, you
for
doing it?
sure.
Okay, okay. Let's do another episode for the draft.
We could go into a little bit right now, but then we for sure gonna need to probably dive into, especially maybe like I don't know if we're gonna do it after the draft or like like after we see who gets selected, what at the first round or two,
Mhm.
or we just do a little something like a little quick little thing where we saying like before it gets close, like who do we think he's getting what? Because
Right.
around that time teams are probably already trading or like looking to really trade their picks or do something big. So
That's real. That's real. And definitely, I'd love to get Keys insight on this topic as well, because it's a lot with the draft this year. Like I said, it's one of the most volatile drafts. It feels like just because of all the news and all the media talks surrounding it. Excuse me. And the Bears have a monumental decision, which I'm very
big time, big
intrigued,
time.
big time. I'm very intrigued to see what they do. I don't even know what they should do, but like we said, we'll save that for another episode. We'll actually record one before the draft so we can get our insights on what we think should happen, talk about the draft and what's going on with it, because it's a lot. It's big shit going on, bro. It's big shit going on, and I'm looking forward to detailing that. So, being that we're already like 50 something minutes in, I think let's just close out. Let's close out with again, still the future. What everybody loves to do. Sports Center shit. Hell, Sports Center drops this the day after the NFL, NBA. Day after something big. Way too early predictions. I love me some way. I love me some way too early predictions. What you thinking about the league next year, Smack? I just want to. Let's keep it simple. I want to know who. Way too early, like I said.
Yeah.
But your MVP for next year, your breakout player of the year, and this could still be somebody that is even a star, but we're gonna see who's gonna be that guy that people said this year took it to the next level, and
Okay.
Super Bowl champion. And like y'all
Okay.
know, us at MKZ, we like to do everything. Pause beforehand, but everything is raw on this side, bro. Me and Smack didn't discuss. We discussed the overall topic before. I mean, in our planning for the episode, but we did not even detail what we're going to these three things I just listed. So, we like to put guys on the spot and let their, wonderful intellect, kick in. So, I got my guy Smack with me today. Let's hear what he got to say for his way too early NFL prediction.
MVP, I'm probably gonna have to go with Joe Burrow.
Ooh, I love it. White, talk to
You
me.
know,
Give me a little explanation for each as you go.
coming back, coming off his injury, you know, coming back should be fully healthy. Barring no injuries, knocking on wood for him. It should be another stellar season with Jamar Chase because we've seen what that connection was like. When they were paired up, Jamar Chase was, he did struggle a little bit, due to quarterback play. There's nothing much he can do. But with them two together, and he's gonna be out looking for revenge. Trying to prove like all the naysayers, all the doubters. You feel me? So I feel like that's gonna be his big MVP season. I was thinking along the lines of Josh Allen too, but what's going on between him, Stephon Diggs, and like what the Bills might do moving forward, I feel like it's just too much uncertainty
Mm,
in that organization on what they're gonna do to try to like get past that constant like first, second round hump to get to that AFC championship
mm,
and beyond that. So, it's just too much uncertainty to say he could be the MVP. I mean, regular season, I mean he's great. Obviously obviously yeah, playoffs doesn't really have too much of an effect, but like I don't know. It's just too much uncertainty for me. For me, Joe Burrow is like the more safer pick.
mm,
You feel me? I feel like he really gonna come out and bust. He's shown us in like in the Super Bowl and in the AFC Championship like how much of a baller he is, and that he can really win one. Especially being healthy. So I got my pick on Joe Burrow.
I like it. I like it. I like it. If I was to go my MVP pick right now, uh, I'll say my MVP is going to be. You know what? I know it's no catching him at this point, and he already got embarrassed by him. And I know it's a division rival, so it pains me to say
Shook.
this. I want to see A Rod win another MVP.
Oh, that is a controversial take.
Very controversial take, but the reason I say this is because until that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, which I can't say nothing because he came to your crib. I've always was of the mindset that A Rod was better than Tom Brady, but A Rod, he came into your crib as the
Walk to your
underdog.
truck.
He walked in your trap and quite literally took over your trap, your crib, and you are the only other quarterback. Not until Mahomes came around that there were guys were really saying it's y'all two at the top for that generation. Come on, bro. You can't allow shit like that. And with all the drama, I don't know if you heard about him getting removed as a guest for what's my dog show name? Um,
Pat McAfee.
the Pat McAfee show. Him being removed because of his controversial takes about Jimmy Kimmel and just his everything with him. The what's that psychedelic he was talking about, bro?
Oh, damn.
It has a
I
weird
forgot what
name,
that.
but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The whatever he was talking about, he be taking in the forward. He been tweaking. He been on his he been on his Kanye run right now. So I think with just the unfortunate way that the season progressed for him last year, especially being the talk of the season, A Rod to the Jets, he's changing life in New York. New York is finally going to be back to a football city. All this talk about them getting injured first game. I know he's getting older, whatever the case may be, but I want to see A Rod. And like I said, if I wish I main reason is my previous notion that I feel like he could have caught Tom Brady in the discussion. There's no catching an MVP and another ring isn't going to do shit for catching Tom Brady. It wouldn't, and we know both of those things are realistically not going to happen for A Rod. But seeing him win another MVP, I feel like I put a smile on my face because it'll show us that some of these guys still quality enough to ride off into the sunset to that in that stature. So I know it's the Jets. I know we deal with the Jets all the time, and they're still the Jets at the end of the day. It's still the butt fumbling Jets. But, you know, fuck
That
it.
was
I
a
want to
that,
see it, bro.
that was a hot take.
That was a
That was
hot
a
take.
that was a Steven hot take.
Very hot take. I was gonna go Mahomes just because I want to continue, as though I'm sick and tired of him. I don't want Tom Brady to be looked at as the greatest of all time. I love TB, but he played for the Patriots. Fuck that.
Facts.
So
I loosely was thinking Mahomes too, but then it was like we all know how when it comes to MVP voting, we know like the bias or like the I forgot what you call it, but when they get tired of saying the same plays
yeah,
again,
it's voter fatigue.
yeah, like as much because Patrick Mahomes generally is the best player in the league.
Hmm.
Obviously like the top 100 votes, like the players do every year. They say he's damn near number one almost every year, so it's just like. But that voter fatigue, I just don't feel like he'd win it because of that. So that's why I really didn't have him in my mind as MVP.
Especially with them winning a Super Bowl again, everybody's sick of them, even the voters. But
So
okay,
like that,
okay, okay. That's our MVP picks. What you thinking about breakout player of the year?
oh man, it's quite a bit. You feel me? It's just like a lot of talent. Um,
A lot of talent, boy.
oof, a singular breakout player.
And like I
Do I
said, it
want to
don't got
go
to be
to?
somebody that's like under the radar and you think they're gonna blow up this season. It could be, but it can also be somebody that gets a good amount of credit, but you think maybe finally this is the year we see them take that leap.
I'm gonna have to go with Jordan Love.
Ooh, I love it. I love that too.
Because like the way he performed in the playoffs against the Cowboys, beating the brakes off that boy. And what that boy Pat Bev says, belt to ass. You
Belt to
feel me?
ass on them boys, boy.
You know, what he did to them boys, I was like, damn, like, and I knew Jordan Love. We know he had the intangibles, like great arm,
Mhm.
solid mobility. Can read the defenses. And can, create out of the pocket, And so, we knew he had those abilities. It's just, putting it all together, and, obviously getting that years of experience, underneath him. And like, finally like getting the reps as the number one QB under Matt LaFleur.
Yeah,
I feel like now this year, like especially like getting more rapport with his receivers now with whatchamacallit, dang, Christian Watson,
yep.
Jaden Reed, and Romeo Dodds,
Romeo
and
Dobbs,
like I
yep.
forgot it was another one too, another guy who like bro, I ain't gonna lie, he's like a AJ Brown type, like he's big, strong,
Right.
great run after catch. I forgot his name, but like him, like too, like having those rapport with them, and then like their tight end, Luke Musgrave, I
Yep.
think his name is.
Yep. I was gonna bring up. You talking about the
So,
white tight end, right?
yep.
Yep.
So getting that rapport with them guys, another year, I feel like he really might break out, especially building off that Cowboys win because the Cowboys defense, that ain't no like, sweet defense either. Like, even though, yes, they ran the ball a great amount, like Aaron Jones, he had a great game, but
Mhm.
obviously, like he during that game he made some great throws. I don't think he threw in a single interception,
Right.
and he balled out. So I believe he will break out
Definitely.
this
I
year.
feel like those, and this is something that I feel like more young guys got to do. Take a second. You don't got to rush into the league, bro. Like it was a smart decision. I know A-Rod wasn't going for it, but even if A-Rod didn't want to help out, which we see some of these dickhead quarterbacks doing these days, um, he's at least learning and watching a great work for at least a year. So I feel like that was big time for him and his progression, like you said. And yeah, he was very solid. He came into his own in the play this year and the playoffs for sure, for sure. The one mistake was just that Stevie at the end, but I mean, it is what it is. That Stevie was tough. There was no need to throw that interception, but he definitely did
Yeah.
so. Yeah, there's literally no need, but he definitely did. But it is what it is. I like that pick. I like that pick. I think mine. I know it's the pop. It's the hot topic right now, but so you gotta fuck it up when I'm the one who made the rules. Left, right.
Here
Let me
you
see
go.
you do it. Left, do it. Right, do it. CJ,
Uh,
that
I
boy
was thinking
is
about it
a
too.
stud, boy. And I just love what they got going on over there. I love what him and the coach that got snubbed from coach of the year, bro. Um, it's not AP. We just talked about AP. It's
D'Amico Ryan's.
D'Amico Ryans. There you go. McKinley know his shit, boy. See, I'm telling
I
that boy.
didn't think
Yeah, when Smack not sleeping, he know his shit, boy. But
shit.
but nah, D'Amico, and what they've been able to put together in Houston with all the adversity, being a terrible team for years. Um, you know, not to. Well, they haven't been good. They've had spurts, they've had moments, but
Yeah.
it's still the Texans. Them being terrible, them being now nowhere near expected to be, you know, this elite this year. The weapons, we thought they didn't have much. Then Tank Dell emerged on the scene, and even he ended up getting hurt. It's like, damn, there's so much adversity that this team had to deal with. And he held his own versus everybody except the Ravens. He held his own versus everybody except the Ravens. And he made some noise this year, big time noise. And I feel like it's only the beginning for CJ. I think he's kind of falling a little bit into the media too much, saying crazy shit like what we talked about with the Jaime thing, and like just just trying to flex certain things. I mean, he's trying to build his brand, so I guess I understand that. But I mean, he's him. He's a young black quarterback rising on the scene, and his play this year was excellent, and I love the way that although he's gotten some flack for it, I love the way he's kind of Tim Tebow-esque and wearing his faith on his sleeve and showing the world that he truly does believe that I put in the work and it's through my Lord and Savior or whatever the case may be. I love that, but
Mhm.
you know, it's gonna what's gonna be what is for him will be for him, and I think that he is a player that you got to remember, he was a rookie, bro. We talking about rookie of the year, and he led a team that had no business being in the playoffs. A team that in our prediction episodes we were saying they weren't supposed to be here. That's their feeling, and they're here and they're making noise. I think he takes that next level. I hope they surround him with a bit more pieces. I hope they take care of some of the issues, elevate the team as a whole. I'm not sure where they're drafting this year, but I hope they make good use of their work in the draft, and hopefully, I don't mean Houston is a big city. It might not be the greatest market, but it's a big city, bro, and everybody loves Houston.
For
So
sure.
it's possibility that free agents might want to sign with them as well. So I'm liking the upside for CJ and the Texans and D'Amico Ryans and what they got going on over there. So I'm gonna say CJ for my breakup. And last but not least, the hardest one probably because you can never know. Super Bowl champion.
As much as, I want to be biased, and Don knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
As much as I want to say the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl,
yeah.
unfortunately, that cannot be my pick. I'm not going to be biased. I'm gonna say the Chiefs do a three-peat. As much as people,
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to
much
say
people
that
don't
one.
want to, as much as people don't want to see it, much some people don't want to deal with it. But Patrick Mahomes, as my good man, my good purple man, Daniel says, he is inevitable.
I think that'll be, and you got to remember, Travis Kelsey's getting old now. Even Andy Reid is getting older. Imagine that. That'll literally be the end. Not the end of Mahomes, but for that, if you tell me that's the stamp on this Chiefs legacy with, or at least this Chiefs dynamic with, Andy probably still gonna be there, but Travis Kelsey, I'm sure his brother just retired. I'm sure he's getting ready to, hit the sunset. I never realized he was as old as he was. I think we documented that on one of our previous episodes, but you know,
Hmm.
his time is coming to an end in the league, and I mean, he is elevated himself into the top three tight ends of all time debate, if not number one. I mean, you could always go back and forth with him and Gronk and others, but he's definitely in that conversation. It would be no more of a beautiful sight than for them to three-peat and and he go out like that. That would be massive, bro. That would be massive, and I like the pick. I didn't think he was gonna go to Chiefs just because maybe I don't know I know Smack pretty well. By pretty well, that's an understatement. But you know, I like it. I like the pick. I like the pick, and I would be mad at it emotionally, but I wouldn't be mad at it from an analytical perspective because that would be just another beautifully written story in NFL history if they were to finish off that three-peat.
Give him something to happen with Tom Brady. You feel me? So
Right, right. Just adding to that resume like we talked about. Um, I like that pick. Unfortunately, I know you took the high road and you chose not to be biased with your pick and allow your personal biases to affect, your decision for this way too early NFL champion prediction. I'm taking the low road, man. When you go high, I go low. And if people want to go low, I go to hell. See what
oh
I mean?
shit.
I ain't playing. I'm riding with
Sure
action.
good.
I'm riding with Action Jackson to the end. And I don't care what
Oh,
nobody got to say. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. I know we're hearing about their
wow.
defense and them possibly taking hits on the defensive end with Patrick Queen possibly exiting there, and you got
Sliding over here. Yeah.
you got some big names that's looking like that's going to depart from Baltimore. This year was probably honestly, if I'm being logical, this year was their best chance to win it. But the man is from my county, bro. I mean,
Pretty true.
Broward County 954, we kicked the door down, so I have to rock with him to the end. It is what it is, man. It hurt my heart so much this year. My homegirl Jossie too. Me and her was always going back and forth because she a big time Ravens fan, and she was, we were just always throughout the season just gassed up about the Ravens and then heartbroken about they loss. But I'm not hopping off the bandwagon, man. I just can't do it because I love this. This might be my favorite. Like, no BS, McKinley.
Hmm.
As time continues to progress and just continues to mold into the more of a man and more of a leader that people will always want to seem to find a way to always want to discredit him for. He might be my favorite player ever. I'm just keeping
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
He
just
for
keep
me, he up there. Like he really up there.
Yeah, bro, because it's like there's that sentimental value in seeing one of your own accomplish it. Like
Facts.
McKinley was talking about before we hopped on the podcast. He was talking about a wonderful. He's about to graduate. For those of you that don't know, my boy Smack almost out the game, almost out the undergrad game. So credit to my dog for sticking it through and completing that. But he was talking about his internship opportunity too that he has for the summer. That it's something that he very much enjoys. I don't know if you want me to us to spoil it for this episode or you want to talk about it when it actually goes
Mhm.
to fruition for the people to know. But
You can go ahead if you want to, because it's pretty much locked in. So
I love
it's
it.
just like it's a timing of it. You feel me? So when summer comes and school's over with, really, I'll be locked in over there.
Okay, say that he gave me a green light. Y'all got a green light from my co-host. Le GM, the coach Smack is finally making his appearance. I'm loving it. So he's going to be, putting together essentially his own AAU team, AU basketball team, and running the team. So coaching the team. He's playing my GM in real life. So, you know, I'm so proud of him for what he got going on, man. And it's like when you see your own succeeding in life. Some people, like we talked about, some people be on that hater shit where they're
And some
smiling
people
your
be jealous and shit. Like you
they're
feel me?
jealous, envious.
Honestly, seeing all my brothers, you feel me, doing their thing, like bro,
Yeah,
that shit, feeling like that shit just honestly, that shit just makes you want to work a little harder. You feel me? Like
exactly,
just to
bro.
show,
It's
just
motivation,
want to make
bro.
other people proud.
Yeah, it's motivation, bro. It just makes you want to go that much harder, and it makes you that much more proud of your guys and your people, whoever it is that you support. It's like, bro, why am I gonna smile in your face and then talk shit behind your back, or smile in your face, but actually, but in my own intuition, I'm playing on your downfall. Like that's bullshit. That's not. Our podcast has been predicated on friendship, has been predicated on brotherhood, has been predicated on, we may fight, bicker, niggas may get annoyed with niggas from time to time, but at the end of the day, these people I'm riding with, bro, it's family, bro. It really is. So, I want to see my people succeed as much as I want to see myself succeed. And these niggas know that I got a drive that is probably unhealthy. because I'll be waking up at 5 and going to sleep at 3 to give y'all episodes and shit, knowing
No,
damn well I
man,
got.
it's a true grinder, bro. Like
Man, that's
this
all.
man is
Bro. It's all I know, bro. It's all I know, and it's like when I could do it with the people alongside the people I love, bro. It's like why wouldn't I want that to be the case? So I mean, that's just my shout out to my guys and Smack, of course. But it's that's the same feeling I feel about Lamar Jackson, and he just needs that Super Bowl, bro. We're talking about it this year, and Shannon Sharp and everybody has detailed that is the only monkey on his back because he wins. So you can't say he don't win. His record, his win percentage is immaculate.
facts.
As far as just as to the totality of his career, his win percentage is immaculate. His leadership, he don't need to say too much, bro. I'm locked in, and my guys know I'm locked in, and I'm riding with my guys. That's what he's portrayed. He hasn't had no off the field issues that we know of. He never chose to sell out and sign with no agents. Now sign with no Rich Pauls and I forgot the big ass NFL agent. His name I forgot his name, bro. It's slipping my mind, but
It's like isn't it like Drew something.
yeah, I was thinking Drew like I don't want to say Rosenthal because I might be wrong, but
I know, like, right? It's supposed to start with like a R, right?
yeah,
Like the
it's
last
Drew
name stuff.
Drew something, but it's who all the big time NFL players signed with. He avoided that. He decided to keep it in house. His mom is his agent. Like him and his mama
Yep.
damn near negotiated his whole contract solo. So it's like, bro, you have to respect shit like that, and you have to want to see that succeed. You want to see that turn out to what it should turn out to, because like I just said, the last thing he needs to do is win a Super Bowl. If he wins a Super Bowl, I know, okay, cool. Everybody, you got guys with multiple Super Bowls, multiple rings. We got a guy on the screen that's looking like he's gonna rack up 100 of them hoes. But, but it's like, bruh, there's still credit, there's still beauty in just having your one or two and you having your whole career's resume to show for it. He's a two-time MVP. This is a player that all 31 other teams in the league, or is it 30? It's 32 NFL teams, or is it 30? I might be mixing up with NFL, NBA. I think it's 30.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, I be doing the same thing. I be
Same
forgetting like
thing, right?
I'm gonna lie to you. I think you're 32.
Whatever it is, bro. All but one. Let me just say, all but one team passed up on. Not once being the draft. We're talking about a Heisman winner, by the way. Not once in the
Yeah,
draft.
it's 32.
32. Not once in the draft, but twice in his free agency debacle and his contract negotiations with Baltimore. Teams have been passing up on him. We know why. I've said it. I mean, I continue to say it. He's not quarterbacky.
Apparently.
He's not quarterbacky
Yep, I was
enough.
about to say
Yeah,
that.
he's trying to say the same thing. He's not quarterbacky enough. So we know the reasons why people prey on his downfall, but God willing, that God won't allow it, bro. And my city is just too. It's too much beauty in our city, bro, and in our and where we came from for it to not pan out. And it's all love to see guys like Kodak and X and so many people from the South Florida area just flourish when their time came. So I want the same for Lamar Jackson, bro, and I want it for John Harbaugh too because I know he already has a ring, but and he's a Hall of Fame coach, of course. But you
Yep.
know, like I'm just sick of people saying this Baltimore way can't get it done, and I think it can. I just think you gotta buckle down. It should have got it done this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Lost by a touchdown, but it's gonna happen, bro. That's just my feeling on it. And I think what's meant for you, like I said earlier in the podcast, what's meant for you will be for you. So that's my picks, man. So McKinley, his early MVP vote, he gave it to that boy. Say, I don't. I'll let you announce.
Gave it to my dog. Damn, why'd I
Uh,
forget my name?
JB, Ice Cold Joe,
Yeah, Jay, yeah, the boy Joe Burr. You
Joe
feel
Burr.
me? And then breakout player, but Jordan Love, and then our future Super Bowl three-peating champion, the Kansas City
And a
Chiefs, and
repeat
the
of
Taylor Swifties.
yes, and a repeat of Buddy holding that same trophy that he's already held uh, three times now. It's crazy. For me, I got MVP, dark horse, Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully, he wins that shit. Oh, I mean, I don't give a fuck if he don't. I'm just thinking about it from a story perspective. But cool for A Rod. Breakout. Gotta fuck it up. You're not the one who made the rules. CJ and and Super Bowl early, way too early Super Bowl pick, man. L Jack, bro, Action Jackson. So that's another one in the book, Smack. It's the first with just me and you, bro. But I love this dynamic actually. We kind of just the way, nigga, you know your shit when it comes to sports, man. And I really do appreciate having you as a part of the team because you pick up the slack when niggas is dropping the ball. So appreciate you for that, man. Um,
No,
and yeah,
thank
bro.
you, boys. My research and studies behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know that's what them goggles for. Oh, sugar. Hell no. But yeah, man. It's another one in the books, man. I told you we gonna keep it kicking. I told y'all 2024 is gonna be a year where we just keep doing what we love to do, man. We love to talk about this shit, and as you can see, we stay up to date with a lot of the happenings in the sports world. So we're going to continue. Um, our next episode is going to be something that we haven't done in for a little while now, just because there's been so much sports. But we're going to talk life in our next episode. Either our next episode or I don't know which one's going to drop first because we plan on shooting the life episode soon. But um,
Hmm.
you know, stay on the lookout for that one because we have a very juicy topic to discuss because I'm gonna love the discussion. I'm gonna love the
I ain't
discussion.
gonna lie, I got an idea for the live episode too. You feel me?
Okay,
This is
easy,
gonna be going.
easy. So we're gonna get into lab planning for that episode and make sure we drop a good one for y'all. But yeah, man. Smack, you got anything else to add before we wrap up?
Man, all I gotta say is appreciate the love and support. We try our best. Mr. Two Times, always working hard. You feel me? Editing. Getting out the videos. You feel me? Holding everybody accountable and stuff. So you feel me?
Love it.
Appreciate all the love and support, man. Hey man, we're just here, just to enjoy it, man. This may not bring no monetary or none of that, extra, fame or whatever, but we just here to enjoy and just to have some out there, you
Yet,
know.
make sure you include that yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we gonna
we're
work
gonna
till
get that
we.
monument.
Yeah, we gonna work till we get to that point. Damn it. But yeah, man. Like Smack said, we appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all, man. And we say that at the end of every episode. If it's a million people watching, if it's one person watching, we're gonna do whatever we're gonna do what we're gonna do because we want to help and just help. Life is hard, and we want to assist in any way we can for anybody that may be going through something. So with that, man, MKZ two out of four of MKZ is in attendance for today's episode, and we signing out, man. Thank y'all for the love and support, man. Stay tuned for the next episode because we'll continue to drop them all 2024. And thank y'all. That's all I can say. So without, you know, with that being said, smack two times. Signing out. Nigga got work in 5 hours, but fuck it, we gonna make it happen. Love y'all.
Sugar.
Later.